is there a vital opportunity within journalism? But my question is, in about 5 or 6 years, you're going to have a lot of baby boomers who are going to go into retirement. Does that open up more opportunities for journalists?
My own view is that, you know, our industry is in such great flux right now in terms of where the employment is going to be and where it's going to be needed. It's pretty hard to say, but certainly you are going to have a wave of people retiring, not just from journalism, but from every profession. You know, you've got 70 million baby boomers who in the next 20 years are going to be retiring. You know, obviously that does create some positions, but it's, you know, and kind of getting back to what you asked, you know, should you choose this or should you choose that, which is going to be longer lasting? I think it's really hard to say. I think what you've got to do is be willing to change up and be entrepreneurial.
There's a question in the back. Anyone else have any questions? Kuma.
Okay. Looking for that. Recently, this report came out on restructuring of journalism, and 2 main issues that highlights of it was, one was some kind of reworking of the tax code to help newspaper industries, media industries, and the other was to supplement the newsroom, the cut downs in the newsroom that have been going on for such a long time, by collaborating with foundations and non-profit organizations. Production of news, especially investigative news and enterprise news. So what are your opinions, starting with Susan? What's happening at radio?
Well, you know, that report had a bunch of recommendations, you know, including the public media getting much more involved in local journalism as local journalism has downsized. There were about, I don't know, perhaps a half a dozen recommendations. What we are seeing across the country, though, is the rising up of all kinds of experiments going on. And it's very interesting and pretty exciting, and I would think for a young person, very encouraging. So, you know, out in California, you've got something that's about to start called the Bay Area News Project, which is a collaboration between the Berkeley School of Journalism and the big public radio and television station out there. And they're going to build a newsroom because you've got a real crisis of local news in the Bay Area. There have been so many layoffs and so much downsizing there. You know, in other areas, you've got in Washington and other places, you've got investigative groups forming that are doing really solid, very journalistically legitimate investigative journalism, and then letting newspapers and television stations run that content. So you've got all kinds of exciting things going on. You know, and then you've got the role of foundations, and they are funding a bunch of these experiments. The Knight Foundation in particular is funding little incubator experiments, I'd call them, all over the country to see what catches on. So you know, what is really changing here is that these old models are going just under transformation. What's going to come out the other end, I don't know, but I think we could still see a lot of really great journalism from it, and so I'm encouraged.
Something about that, one of the elements that the tax code, that there should be some kind of tax break for media industries, or there should be some kind of tax exemption, that they are non-profit organizations. What's the buzz going on within organizations, news organizations?
What I think most news organizations don't want to see is any kind of direct government funding of newspapers or any other news gathering organization. We need to be independent of government. But, you know, with something like public radio and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, I mean, you do see really good journalism going on with kind of that arm's length relationship. So perhaps there could be some changes there, but I think we should stay the heck away from government funding of news organizations.